Most people think their financial year is decided in December. It's not. By the time March shows up, most people are already locked into the same patterns they had last year. Same stress. Same money pressure. Same feeling of always catching up. Not because they failed. Not because they didn't try. But because they never made the right decisions early enough. The truth is simple and uncomfortable. Your financial year is decided long before the year is over. The first 90 days quietly shape everything that comes after. If you get January, February, and part of March wrong, the rest of the year becomes damage control. You're not building anything new. You're just reacting. But if you get those first months right, progress feels different. Lighter, calmer, more predictable. This isn't about motivation. Motivation fades. This is about structure. January feels clean, like a reset button. You promise yourself this year will be different. More control, less stress, better decisions. But motivation doesn't survive real life. Bills don't care that it's a new year. Expenses don't wait until you feel ready. So if you want this year to actually change, you need to focus on what matters early. The first mistake most people make in January is guessing. They think they know where their money goes. They don't. They remember rent, they remember the big bills, they forget the patterns, small spending that repeats, subscriptions that never stop, habits that feel harmless in the moment but add up fast. So before you plan the future, you have to face the past. That means pulling your last 3 months of bank and credit card statements. Not to judge yourself, not to feel bad, just to see the truth. You're not looking at totals, you're looking at behavior. Where does money consistently go? What categories keep repeating? What expenses show up month after month without you noticing? Most people avoid this step because it breaks the story they tell themselves. But clarity only comes after honesty. You can't fix what you refuse to see. Once you see the real picture, decisions stop being emotional. You stop guessing. That alone gives you more control than most people ever feel with money. The second thing that decides your financial year is something most people never define. They never decide what kind of year they're actually having. They try to do everything at once, save more, pay debt, invest, enjoy life, fix mistakes, all at the same time. That's not ambition, that's confusion. A real financial year has an identity. It's either a recovery year, a stabilization year, or a growth year. A recovery year means cleaning messes, debt, late payments, no buffer. A stabilization year means building consistency, emergency savings, predictable bills, less stress. A growth year means expansion, investing, long-term progress. Most people want growth while still living in recovery. That's why nothing sticks. In the first 90 days, you pick one lane, not forever, just for this year. Once that decision is made, money decisions get simpler. You stop asking, "Can I afford this?" and start asking, "Does this fit the year I'm building?" That question alone filters out more bad decisions than willpower ever could. Now let's talk about the third thing that actually decides how your year turns out. And this is the one almost nobody talks about: your calendar. Most people try to control money with intention. I'll be more careful. I'll spend less. I'll pay attention this year. That doesn't work. Money isn't controlled by intention. It's controlled by timing. Bills don't care how motivated you are. Due dates don't adjust to your mindset. If your calendar stays the same, your finances stay the same. That's why in the first 90 days, you don't just organize money. You organize time around money. You choose specific days to look at your finances. Weekly, not monthly. 10 minutes is enough. What came in? What went out? What's coming up next? This keeps small problems from turning into big ones. Missed charges, overspending, bad timing. You also line up your bill due dates with your income when possible. Or you hold money early, so it's already waiting. This removes pressure without making more money. Most financial stress doesn't come from low income. It comes from bad timing. When money arrives late, panic starts. When money arrives early, stress drops. Your goal in the first 90 days is to make timing boring, predictable. Once that happens, something changes. You stop reacting. You stop feeling surprised. You stop feeling behind. Not because life is perfect, but because structure absorbs impact. You're still going to make mistakes. Unexpected expenses will still happen. The difference is that mistakes won't destroy the entire month anymore. That's why the first 90 days matter so much. They don't make you rich, they make you stable. And stability is what allows progress later. Most people wait until the year feels settled to get serious with money. That moment never comes. The year doesn't slow down for you. So if you're watching this early in the year, this is your window, not to change everything, but to decide how the rest of the year will feel. Chaotic or calm, reactive or intentional. You don't need 12 months of motivation. You need 90 days of clarity. After that, momentum does the rest. Because once money has direction, once timing makes sense, once decisions align with the year you chose, the pressure drops. And when pressure drops, consistency becomes possible. That's how financial years are actually won. Not with hype, not with promises, but with early decisions that quietly shape everything that comes after. If you take one thing from this video, let it be this. You don't need a perfect year, you need a clear start. If this helped you see money differently, subscribe for more practical finance content without hype. No shortcuts, no noise, just clarity.